The Amazon is not just a forest. It's a living, breathing world, a spirit world. To those who call it home, the trees are friends, the rivers are family, and the jungle itself is a great teacher. But what do we really know about the Amazon? What secrets does this ancient place hold? And what can we learn from the people who have lived in harmony with it for thousands of years? This is the story of the jungle of spirits. It's deep in the heart of the Amazon, where the air is thick with humidity and the sound of cicadas. There exists a world unlike our own. It's a world where ancient legends come to life, and the boundaries between the physical and spiritual realms are blurred. Here, the trees are not just inanimate objects, but living beings with their own energy and consciousness. Okay? The rivers are not just sources of water, but pathways to the underworld. And the plants are not just botanical specimens, but powerful allies and teachers. For generations, the indigenous shamans of the Amazon have described the jungle as a living being, a great mother who has memory, will, and warning. She speaks to those who know how to listen. When the wind rustles through the leaves, she whispers secrets of the forest. When the monkeys chatter in the canopy, they carry messages from her to her children, the humans who live in her embrace. We were fortunate enough to capture on film some of these rare rituals. Plant medicine ceremonies where the shamanic healer journeys into the spirit world to bring back wisdom and healing for his tribe. The spirit dance where the dancers move in perfect harmony with the rhythm of the jungle, their bodies becoming vessels for the spirits to move through. And the sacred chant where the entire community comes together to honor the spirits of the forest and to ask for their protection. Okay? These are just a few examples of the ways that the indigenous people of the Amazon interact with the spiritual realm of the jungle. But the jungle is not always benevolent. There are those who enter the forest and are never seen again. Some say they were taken by the spirits as punishment for trespassing or by the dangerous animals that roam the jungle. Others believe that they simply became lost in the vast wilderness and were never found. But whatever the truth may be, these stories serve as a reminder of the power and mystery of the jungle. Over the course of our journey, we experienced some of this ourselves. We heard eerie jungle sounds that seemed to come from another world. We witnessed unexplained disappearances of both animals and humans. And we received warnings from the tribal people who live in the jungle that we may not have heeded if we had not been filming. Through our exploration of the spiritual map of the Amazon, we discovered that the jungle is a place of great power and beauty. There are places where the energy of the earth is so strong that it can heal the sick and wounded. There are other areas where the veil between the physical and spiritual realms is so thin the spirits of the dead can walk among the living. And there are the rivers, some of which are said to move on their own, carrying souls to the underworld. One of the most fascinating aspects of the spiritual map is the knowledge that the indigenous people have drawn from their dreams and visions. Shamans journey into the spirit world to learn about the medicinal properties of plants. This knowledge is then passed down to other members of the tribe, ensuring that the healing traditions are kept alive. One of the most common uses of this knowledge is to treat physical ailments, but it is also used to address mental and emotional issues. But despite the beauty and wonder of the Amazon, it is under threat like never before. The trees are being cut down at an alarming rate, and with them, till the sacred lands and spirits that dwell there are being destroyed. This has had a profound impact on the indigenous people who depend on the forest for their very survival. In our interviews with tribal elders, we heard stories of how the jungle is suffering. When the trees die, the spirits scream. As the forest is cut down, the spirits of the trees are destroyed, and they cry out in pain. This pain is felt not only by the spirits, but also by the indigenous people who have a deep connection to the land. One of the most heartbreaking aspects of this story is the impact it has had on the younger members of the tribe. Many of them are torn between two worlds: the traditional way of life of their ancestors and the modern world that is encroaching on their lands. It is a difficult balance to strike, and many have been lost to the modern world, leaving their villages and their connection to the jungle behind. As we journeyed deeper into the Amazon, we realized that the jungle is a place of great beauty and wonder. But it is also a place of great danger and mystery. We encountered scientists who studied the forest and its inhabitants, but we also met shamans who believed that the jungle is a living being with a soul. And as we sat around the campfire listening to their stories, we began to see that there are two ways of seeing the forest. It's a scientific way of studying it and a shamanic way of living in harmony with it. Our journey to the Amazon was a humbling experience. We learned that the jungle is a place of great power and beauty, but also of great danger and mystery. We saw firsthand the impact that deforestation is having on the indigenous people and their way of life. But we also experienced the healing power of the jungle and the wisdom of the shamans, who have lived in harmony with it for generations. And as we left the jungle and returned to our world, we carried with us the message of the spirits, a message of warning, but also of hope. The jungle is in danger, but there is still time to turn things around. If we listen to the message of the spirits, we can still protect this sacred place for future generations. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and share it with your friends.